Injuries, Apke hamstring is out. Harris concussion is questionable. Paul Richardson's shoulder did not participate. He's questionable. And Morgan Moses' knee was limited today. He's questionable.
What happened with Paul, and how nervous are you about him for Sunday?
He's got a shoulder issue right now, and we got him as questionable. So we'll see. I'm not overly concerned about it for this week.
And as far as Harris, is he cleared for contact yet out of the protocol, or is that what is pending on him playing?
Well, yeah, I think the protocol is ongoing right now. He has to practice on a limited basis, and then he has to continue to talk to the doctors and the trainers and find out where he's at. And that goes until the next morning and afternoon until he's officially cleared, which he hasn't really been. He's just been cleared to participate.
Is he ready to go? I mean, it's been like about a month for him.
Yeah, he looked good. He looks good. He feels good. He feels a lot better, but I leave that up to them, Mo, the trainers, and obviously everybody else involved, the doctors.
If Richardson does play, is that something likely to limit him at all?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I think usually if guys play, then they feel like they can do everything, but we'll play it by ear.
Did you see? I'm sorry if I missed. Did you see what Richardson did to hurt his shoulder when he hurt it?
He's got an AC joint issue, and then he landed on it last week in the game a little bit and aggravated it. It's kind of been bothering him for some time.
You explained last week that a lot of the defensive game plan was to shut down David Johnson. How will that look differently as far as blitzing and trying to pressure Andrew Luck this week with the Colts coming to town?
Yeah, we'll see. I think still the initial deal in pro football is stop the run, whoever's back there. And we have to do a good job of that and trying to force them to be one-dimensional. However, that dimension's pretty good with Andrew Luck. So when he does go back to pass, we're going to have to do a better job of staying on our lanes because he can buy time as good as anybody, and that's going to be an issue also. So, we'll hopefully mix it up on him, keep him off balance. 3-man, 4-man, 5-man, 6-man rushes, and hopefully he'll have to get the ball out.
Hey, Jay, last week, obviously with Alex's debut, AP's debut, there was so much focus on, have the new guys and the returning guys had enough time together. I'm wondering now, though, how much do you think early in the year continuity and cohesion has kind of contributed to, where you guys have gotten, through the preseason and through week one?
Well, I think these guys have worked hard together to try to get that continuity, and every week's a different challenge. There's going to be some new things that we add every week, so it's going to be important for us to get on the same page as far as that's concerned. But the type of guys that these guys are, they've worked extremely hard together and done an excellent job of being where they're supposed to be, being fundamentally sound, and then making plays that are simple plays, making them look very good. You saw Adrian do that a couple times, make a couple guys miss a hole, break another tackle, get 12 yards instead of 3. And Alex play that's not there, spinning out of trouble, confining Jordan Reed for, again, 20. So those things they do athletically, but overall I think their continuity's in pretty good shape.
And you've got a chunk of the roster that's been together with you 3, 4, some of them 5 years. I mean, what's sort of the fruits of all of that you see right now?
I think comfort. I think guys have a comfort level in the system, that have been here, and they can anticipate some of the calls. They know what we like. They're also able to branch off and do some new things because they're all fairly smart guys. But overall, I just think when you're here on the same team for 3, 4, 5 years, it means, one, you're pretty smart, pretty good, you work pretty hard, and good things will happen to those guys. So I just think the continuity with the guys that have been here, the veteran guys, they're here for a reason because they're good players, number one, good people, and they work extremely hard.
Luck and Hilton hit a couple back shoulders last week, back shoulder fades. Why is that so hard to get a quarterback and receiver on the same page, and also why is it so effective when they can pull that off?
It's hard because the defensive back, it's hard for him to look back for the ball, especially on TY because he's so fast. You got to make sure you try to stay on top of him, and when you're on top of him and the receiver does a good job of not giving any indicators where the ball is, if he late hands it, it's hard. And the defensive back has to play through the hands, and a lot of times it's a PI or completion. But it's a really tough deal. It's not easy to throw, but Andrew's very, very good at it. So certain quarterbacks are better than others. It's a difficult deal.
Is that something that you can kind of scheme up, or is it typically coming off of a go ball, then it's a read by the quarterback and receiver?
Yeah, some of them are planned. Usually the shorter versions are planned, but the deeper versions, those are just, if the defensive back's on top he'll throw it back shoulder, and that's just an adjustment the quarterback and the receiver make that have been together for a long time. That's where the continuity comes in with him and T.Y.
Have you seen enough of Caleb Brantley this week to possibly make him active on Sunday? What more do you need to see from him, I guess?
Well, we have 5 guys in front of him right now, so we don't anticipate dressing 6 linemen unless, we don't have anybody else to dress, for special team purposes and everything else. And right now he's, just got here, so he's the 6th guy. But he's doing a good job. He's got some talent, athletic ability that we like, and, it's good to have him as our 6th. Something happens, he'll jump right in there.
Trent and a couple guys had like dress shirts on for, I guess, Business Fridays. Just what is that? And did you know
Business
that's
Friday,
a-
just what they said. It's the first I ever heard of it, man. I'm glad they're taking it seriously. They look good. They played well today. They practiced hard. So the business shirts was a nice touch.
them at all?
What's that?
Didn't limit them at all?
No, they were fine. You gonna wear one? No.